Hello guys, this is my first of hopefully many commentaries, and this is a 3v3 on Salamance Province. My teammates are Magister, Razi, and Ninja versus Heavy Metal, Buchik ZT, and Thick Stick. I'm in the middle as Razi, as you probably guessed. And in this battle, I'm going to commentate and maybe give you a few tips along the way. Well, in the middle, I command the French, and I brought 4 Voltigeurs, 4 Swiss foot, guys in red, 3 old guard, because they're the best unit in the game. Always bring 3 if you're France, little tip. And the guard seaman, the best dressed unit in the game. But, like, no contest. The brave, because, well, they're brave. 4 Chasseurs Cheval, they're the French shooter cav. They can stand toe-to-toe with some hussars, and they can shoot. So that's why I brought them. And the general staff with a chevron. Let's move on to my ally on the left, Ninja. He brought 4 Prussian Fusilier, the second best light in the game. 4 foot guards, it looks like. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I want to say 6 musketeers and a general staff. 1 cuirassier, 1 Lutwitz Free Corps, a dragoon, and a hussar unit. And on my right, general staff, magic 3 Voltigeurs, 4 Swiss foot, a young guard. I'm not a fan of bringing young guard. They're just overpriced British line in my opinion, but if you can use it, make them work. Some Chevaux Léger Lancers, 3 of them, and 3 Chasseurs Cheval. As you can see here, that's my mod for the music. I forgot my general in the back. I do that a lot. Now I'm going to rush to take the city. My ally's going to take this forest area, and he's going to rush the hill. On the other side, this is Heavy Metal, the most, my opinion, the most competent player on their team, because I know how he plays, and he's pretty good. But my opponent was very well as well. And right off the bat, here's one of the reasons we lost. You'll notice later, but this player made a very key mistakes, like never do this. Never put that many chevrons on a unit, especially Portuguese cav, the worst cav in the game. He brought 4 Tiradores, a pretty good unit, but I would have brought Cazadores, play to your unit's strengths. He brought 1, 2, 3, and 5 infantry. That's all, and a general. My opponent in the city brought 3 lights and a rifle, not a bad build. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 foot, 2 Highland, I think, and a KGL. King's German. Oh, 2 KGL. King's German Legion and the Duke. Pretty solid army. That's a formidable army. Heavy brought 10th Hussars. I'm pretty sure they're shooter cav. No, they are not. That's a different one. That's a 15th. The King's German Legion Light and the Royal Scots Grey. This unit is the only good cav really that Britain has to offer. Their strength lies in their line infantry, so use that. Don't rely on your cav. Here he's got 4 lights, 2 of which are the KGL lights. King's German Legion. And then just a lot of line with 2 KGL line. And what difference is, he's just hitting lights when he shoots me. All my shots that miss his lights are going to go right and shoot those guys in the foot, and I hit that guy wearing all white. Pretty cool. But here I'm losing this because I'm outnumbered straight off 60 to 90, and these units are on par with Volts. Just outnumbered. Yeah, the shootout continues. I'm trying to get a position here, so in case he comes through, this is just, I'm trying to create a kill box. I'm moving up my Volts to shoot him. Same in this situation. I want those rifles gone. 4 chevrons on that general. Well, he threw down stakes here. Not a bad decision. So I can't cav rush him. Here he starts rushing his lights through to help where he's needed over here on my left. To help turn the battle into his favor. Here Heavy's sending down some cav to try to help his ally in the city. Alright, well, those Volts just said fuck it and run. Very disappointed. Here I've got my Prussian ally just hammering that Highland foot. 19 kills. Oh, even more. Almost 30 kills there. Well, his Tiradores are doing nothing but shoot at his Landwehr in a forest. Not very effective. He's going to crank up those Fusiliers and just take out those Tiradores. Here my Swiss foot is just getting annihilated But I am doing a number because all those shots that are missing those rifles are hitting those King's German Legion. King's German Legion is the best unit he brought. So, Swiss are average, King's German Legion elite. Well, they should be an elite unit. They just aren't credited with it. I don't know why. So I'm going to pull these Swiss back. Make sure he can't press through this flank so I'm feeling vulnerable. So I'll move up my Brave. Yep, they're coming. Just listen. The dead voltigeurs will be really... Oh! Got shot 4 times. Bit of an overkill, but okay. Here's sending some cav at my Volt, so I'm going to pull them back. But I think I let these guys get hit. Yep, I let those Volts get hit. Big mistake. Volt's not going to last very long in that fight. And I need them. So I throw these Swiss into square to fight back. Deter them, and I rush more Volts up to replace them, because Volts are cheaper. Don't bring Chasseurs. They're just more expensive. Although there are 90 of them, but they have less accuracy. It's not worth the trade-off. See here, wait, hold on. See, I'm just in range of his lights, so I'm shooting only his lights, though his line can't fire back. So while I'm shooting his lights, all the missed bullets are hitting these rifles and these foot. While he can't shoot back, and his rifles are also shooting him in the back. Now these King's German Legion are dying for no good reason. Actually, no, these are only foot, but still. British foot's expensive and good. Here he sends a cav charge and trying to compromise my allies' flank and separate us, but I don't let that happen. So I counter charge. Try to save his Fusiliers while I can. And these Chasseurs... Oh, that was a stupid shot. I should not have done that. Probably killed more of my men than his. But then again, he's doing equally not smart and shooting his own cav in the back. And there I route that light. He's moving more foot up to replace it.
Our men are running, sir.
And there go my Volts, which makes me concerned. But these men are brave, and they know what needs to be done. Here my Volts are a bit crisscrossed. That should get corrected soon. These Swiss, once again, are preventing my ally from being flanked over here. Because he clearly wants to come through here between these two houses and just separate us and kill us. But I'm not going to let that happen. Because I'm a good teammate. And if you're in the middle, your main job is just to hold and wait till one of your flanks wins and reinforce the flanks when needed. You're not expected to break through, because normally you have to do things like city fights, and these aren't fun. They're very difficult, in my opinion. So there I'm getting some free shots of those Highlanders and King's German Legion, which I guess got a charge on my Brave, but these men, as usual, are brave. And now my Swiss are going to be able to get some free shots. Or no, yeah, they should. I mean, firing at will. Okay. So the Braves have their little mind of their own, so I'm just gonna go with it. And then charge up front. Here he sends more cav at me.
Our men are running, sir.
Alright, well I was able to form square with my Brave just, in time, but I think his mission was to make me form square, and that did work. Because now, although I'm killing his cav, I'm getting shot up. So now they're in a tight square. But here, Musketeers and Chasseurs are concentrating their fire on that Highland. That shouldn't last much longer. And yes, sir, you should be firing. His lights are facing... Oh, no, they're pulling back. Because I cranked up my Swiss to reinforce. So they shoot on my right flank. It's an intense standoff. On my left, the Prussian is clearly winning. His line is just getting thrashed by his foot guards and lights. His cav on the flank. This guy's probably a new player. But honestly, if this cav got a charge into like the back of some of this, would, damn, it's a fine unit. No, you guys are failures. You don't play marching music. Yeah, he has this Landwehr duking out, and the Englishman has to pull troops off to help the Portuguese. The fact that he's losing to Blandver is kind of disgusting, but here it appears he did a Highland foot charge and routed my brave. But I'm going to reform my next unit of Swiss that was sitting here. My Volts are shooting out those rifles and winning. Here I'm going to mobilize my cav here to give him something to think about over there. And now the Prussians are entering the city. Help change the tide. So I'm going to crank these Swiss up to replace this depleted one that's about to rout. 17 men. Just like the brave, they are brave.
Our men are running, sir.
Yep, they are running, but just in time. I show up, and now the Prussians running through. Purely for intimidation factor, of course. When all he did was mess up my lines. But he does become an important teammate later. Right now he's just destroying the Portuguese. My Swiss straight up should win this fight purely by numbers. If we were both fresh units, I would lose, but that's what they're brave for. And here comes a nice Portuguese cav charge of Cuirassier. That will just destroy every one of those units. He's going to sit there for a little bit and chop them up while I think about what I'm going to do next, which right now is keep doing what I'm doing because I'm winning. Here he moves his musketeers up what looks to be a melee charge into those lights. No, he stopped. Alright. Got a bit too close. I mean, but, you know. Here they come. The old guard. Those Cuirassiers are just killing everyone. I'm just going to sit here with my Swiss foot, let everyone reload, keep fire at will off. Here I have my Chasseur. Oh no, I turned fire at will on. Bad move. Here my Chasseur are beating these Highland. Actually, yeah, they're beating those Highland foot slightly. Here my Volts are starting to die, so I send. Oh, yeah, they got charged by Cav. But here, I move my Swiss over, so because at this point, his Cav won't allow him to flank right now,
We have killed
and I'll
their
see it coming, and I'll
general,
mobilize my
sir.
reserves.
Now they must break.
Portuguese cavalry general, Portuguese gen should be dead. My Swiss foot are opening up on these blocks. They're trying to stop the Cav from coming. Is he even in square? Oh, but that was an effective volley. I heard it. Here, bit of micro mismanagement. Let my units get shot a bit too much. They charge straight at a line. But they are, actually no, they're fencibles. That's why I charge. They can't form square. And I want to clear up my flank. Here I have Volts, again, to protect the flank, because although I left him exposed, I knew that I could cover him with just these Volts that would deter anyone. Because who wants to get shot in the side by light infantry? These guys are marksmen. Right there, fancy hats. Look at that thing. Used tampon. But anyway, Swiss are getting shot and getting charged by Highlanders. That charge is going to be pretty effective. But I have another Swiss that really hasn't been used. It's being mobilized at the moment. Here I can get my Chasseur Cheval to charge those Highlanders in the back and in the front. Prussia is just a landslide. It really was. He didn't lose much. Except militia, it looks like. Yep, those are dead militia versus dead everywhere. This unit gets his buying of time or something, but at this point, I'm forcing him into square while moving my Swiss up. Or should be. Or getting shot. Here I'm getting some flanking fire on those light infantry while I move my Swiss up to back up my old guard, which I mobilized earlier. Pretty cool. Okay, here the fighting is still at a near stalemate, but now they're exchanging shots finally. But although their lights are in a forest, but then again he's in the forest, so not many casualties are going to be inflicted on units in these forests. So that's going to be another just... Here that Portuguese Cav doing work against those Ludwig's Free Corps, but now, no matter how many chevrons you put on a unit, they're not going to break a square of foot guards. Those men will be dead shortly. What a waste of money. Should have spent it on Cazadors. Silly. Here I move these Swiss up to take shots at them. It's still a fight for this part of the street. My old guard are just punishing everyone in the street because they're old guard, the best unit in the game.
Our men are running,
Here my Swiss
sir.
foot are preventing a flanking maneuver. And I move my guard seaman up just to ensure his flanks are safe because I see his moving troops up. So, as a center player, you really just want to support your teammates until one of them win. Because a selfish center player usually means they lose. I have no problem sacrificing my Swiss foot. They're not loyal to my country. Here I pull back my French because they're getting shot at by like the corner of this street and I can't fire back. I just want these foot dead. These Swiss are protecting the flank by shooting at that unit of foot. Oh, the fencibles are still living. Okay. Here is just the continued shootout. But here, he does something very clever. He sets up tier fire with his lights in the back. And he's just going to get a lot of... He's concentrating a lot of fire with these tight blocks. And he's just going to destroy any units that cross this open ground. He's taking some good shots into the forest. But here, oh, he tries to go cab charge with the unit, gets in square. But unit's in square so we can shoot at it now. Here I do an old guard charge. I want to outflank them with these two units. So, it's 37 old guard versus 100 foot. I think the old guard is going to win. Here I pull this unit up to cover the old guard's flanks. And I try to hide behind this house. That way that fencibles can't shoot at me. And I set up my voltigeurs to exchange fire with those
Our men
fencibles.
are running, sir.
Here my old guard routes. Tragic. But it was just to buy me time. I still have my old guard guarding my left, so the left is very safe at this point. Just a matter of time till that unit breaks. I have guard seamen, and I don't think these are my French old guard. Actually, I think it is. Nope. Here's my old one. Yeah, this is my old guard. How I bring 3? It's an easy way to remember it. Here, my volts are going to start firing at that KGL. These Swiss foot are doing a number on them. For Swiss foot. I mean, British line is just destruction.
This building has fallen to the enemy.
Here he took a house. I wonder where. Here this was to cover Prussian advance from the rear. This shootout would have lasted a lot longer and a lot bloodier if the Prussians hadn't arrived so swiftly. Here. Fight's going, I can't really tell who's winning right now, but he's losing the light fight. But he does have the high ground, so right now I'm not going to say anyone's winning. Because he's still got all his cab, but Lancer cab through the forest, pretty much worthless. I mean, they lose their charge. Soon enough, I'll be able to finish and help him wrap around. Here, I get a nice old guard, fresh old guard, right around the corner. Get those foot before they can get many shots off. That unit will die pretty quickly. The old guard scares the unit, so they'll be dead very quickly. As I said that earlier. Swiss foot, they're shooting. Yeah. If you can't hide in a forest, just it looks like this unit's been fighting the whole battle, and these guys standing pretty tough. Here, let's charge. It is downhill, so it's going to help, but it's still through a forest. That's going to hurt it. But that unit is one man shy of being able to form square, which is tragic, because now they're going to die. But since they went through a forest, definitely less effective. This old guy's going to finish mopping up that foot. Here, he occupies the house. I get these volts into melee with those KGL to stop them from firing at my old guard, and they're out of ammo. But they're not going to last long, so I'm just going to do that to buy my old guard time to form up.
Running, sir.
He's running all his troops to assist, and he's engaging that last Portuguese infantry. That is very tired. These volts are still firing. Pouring out the fire from the Swiss everywhere I can. Swiss are better than... Don't bring Fusiliers of the line if you're France. It's just that for $10, I guess it is, or coins more, you can bring a unit that has better shooting stats, same melee stats, and just have a little bit, like 2 less charge bonus. So unless you're going to be doing a lot of charging, it doesn't matter. Here my old guard was shooting his foot guards in the back, but it was worth it because the 2 best units in the game. Actually, guard team are better than foot guards. Plus they're better dressed. Here he's fleeing into the forest and occupying the city, town, house thing. And I recommended him against this, but he did anyway. I don't blame him because it worked. But he took all his elites and stormed this house, and they will win. The only issue is that they were all very tired, which means their melee stats are severely ruined. I was going to let my old guard take the house, but, you know, he wanted to take it, so I let him. Why let good Frenchmen die? And here we're slowly starting the encirclement. Prussians are coming from over the hills behind him. I'm saying all my units up. Over on the left, looks like he's losing in the forest slightly, but actually, you know what? No, he just mobilized the old guard. He's winning. And he's moving more units up. The young guard. Young guard is a good unit. Just for 990, you're buying expensive British line infantry, which
Sir, our
I
general
wouldn't.
is
I
under
don't bring them.
attack.
But they are a good unit, so if you have a build where they work, then bring them by all means. If you have just 990 left over, bring Young Guard. They're a great unit, and they inspire nearby, which is pretty good. But here, this unit isn't going to last long, being surrounded by the Prussians and shot at by Old Guard, so they're going to be inspired, or rallied, I should say. Here, he's mobilizing another Old Guard to his far right, where they're needed. This left is pretty safe now that I'm here. This unit is just gonna die. The Duke is a desperate charge at my Swiss who can't form square. Oh, good shot, soldier. Let's see. Battle's raging that house. The Prussians should win,
Our men
although
are
tired.
ready, sir.
Actually, you know what? King's German Legion? That's an iffy fight. I really don't know who would win that fight. I put my money on the KGL, but due to the fact that he just sacrificed the Duke. Actually, he does have the Duke on his side, too. But I do rush half my Old Guard unit in, which is definitely going to turn the tide on that battle. Here I'm going to rush some Old Guard up into this forest, help flank that unit. And here I'm mobilizing the Guard Seamen for the first time in the battle. Best dressed. Look at them. They're like the Marines. The few, the proud.
Our brave ally has fallen, sir.
Here, Prussian general, I believe, dies, which is not going to help that morale. But the Duke routes, which is going to hurt that morale back in our favor. And now my Old Guard is just going to scare him out of the house while the general routes. Here I discovered this unit of Coldstream as my Old Guard just walked towards them. So because Coldstream, one of the few units that can stand toe-to-toe with Old Guard. I mean, they will lose, especially when being outflanked by Old Guard and Guard Seamen and plenty of Prussians. Although they are in a forest, so they'll live quite a while. Let's give off a volley. Bam. So Guard and the two Prussians are fighting for the house. They're going to win. I'm pretty sure he's rushing those musketeers into the house, too. Either that or they're just going to get shot. This Old Guard's down to 78, but they're doing their number. Over here, Magister's holding the line pretty strong. No one's gaining ground or giving ground, though. We're the game changers right now. This point's just heavy metal. Here he's protecting his flank with King James. He's probably got some more units hidden throughout this forest over there. That's probably why he's not attacking. Here's moving more Prussians up. I'm still holding the line with my elites. Two best units in the game. Yeah, he's won that house. If the Duke didn't rout, I'd honestly think the King's German Legion would win. Just because these guys are exhausted. Here, his King's German Legion are charging my... well, I thought they were. They're charging my Swiss foot over here. Maybe my ally Swiss foot, I don't know. Yeah, mine. So I countercharge with the Guard Seaman, and this won't end well for him. The Guard Seaman alone could win, but Swiss foot's just added bonus. And now here he's slowly falling back, trying to stop him. These lights were destroying Magister, though. I mean, that tier fire that they set up back here was devastating, but now he had to pull him back to stop him. And now he's just doing a mass charge because these lights will lose in melee to just about every unit because they're not trained to hand-hand. Here he wins with a nice Swiss foot downhill charge. He's got the downhill charges, so he's probably going to do... yeah, he's doing a couple here. He's got the Swiss foot getting shot at instead of the Old Guard. He's got these Old Guard... ah, they're shooting to the ground. Oh, you can... Yeah, you're not hitting anything out there. Here I'm moving up the guard seaman and old guard that were fighting in the house, but they're tired, so I really don't want to use them. Actually, wait, no, this is his Swiss foot that I told him to charge. I warned him about that charge that was coming. Here these lights are actually holding the line very well against a foot guard and a musketeer. Actually, they just held off that whole charge. That's actually impressive. Now he wants to shoot at my old guard. At least I think so. I mean, now he's probably fighting off the Prussians. Oh, they're exhausted. They should not. If you want to charge, for the most part, take them out of light infantry formation. Being spread out doesn't help in melee. It actually hurts it. And it also makes your units tired. And tired units are not good. So here I get a downhill charge with the, well, yeah. Here's a nice charge. This unit's going to die. Guard seaman on the flank. And old guard charging downhill.
Soon